kind of showing that our country's kind of turning away from this kind of bullshit. And a little special guest in by Kane here, too. We'll get to him. Cracker Barrel in Tennessee turns away Grayson Fritts and his church. You guys know this Grayson Fritts dude?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
I've heard of the Grayson Fritts guy.
This is the anti-LGBT cop and pastor. So he went to a Cracker Barrel in Tennessee, and they basically told him he ain't welcome. They're like,
great.
Fuck off.
Can't even go to a Cracker Barrel, huh? Get kicked out of a fucking Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, the company has a zero tolerance for discrimination and harassment, it said, and they're basically like, you're a hate speech motherfucker. You ain't welcome here. Get the fuck out. And Kane, the main reason I pulled this, I mean, like, Cracker Barrel, good on you, whatever. I think this guy's a piece of shit. But this fucking the fact that Kane had to come fucking because I guess he's this guy's mayor.
He's the representative.
So he's got to come out and actually, speak for the town and like, okay, here's
you know what? They could have solved this a lot easier. Send Kane out to choke slam
this motherfucker.
Grayson Fritts.
All right, but I just love the fact that Kane now has to do this kind of shit.
Why is he in a suit?
Why is he wearing a suit? Don't get Scotty started.
Don't even fucking do it, Paul.
Scotty will just go on and on with that.
Don't
too,
fucking
if you let
do
him.
it.
Yes. Anyway,
is he running for mayor?
Christianity is based on love, and when you have
Christianity is based on love.
When you have confrontations with people, when you believe that people are sinning, and what we all have to understand is that all of us are sinners. You do not approach it from killing people.
Wow.
I love that it needs to be said, dude.
Yeah, killing people.
Jesus Christ.
He's like, that's a little extreme.
I love that Kane, the mayor of fucking Knox County, has to fucking stand up there with his 7'2" ass and fucking tell the people, like, yeah, look, I mean, if you believe someone's sinning, I mean, look, we all sinners and whatever the fuck else, but don't kill nobody. Come on, man. Just don't.
That's a bad idea.
Don't take it to the level of killing.
I gotta say something.
He's not a great politician, by the way.
No, he ain't.
He's horrible.
Go ahead. Let's finish his.
Oh, you want to?
I want to know. I gotta
hear
hear
the full statement from Kane.
All right, so let's all shut the fuck up for a minute and let Kane speak. We'll have him floored for 50 seconds here.
I mean, I've looked all through the New Testament, and I can't find Jesus Christ talking about rounding people up and killing them.
Did you check
what
the
I
old?
do see a lot is love, understanding.
New covenant.
The idea
talking donkeys.
That you don't condemn the action. You don't condemn the actor, but you condemn the action. And it's all about love. There's nothing about hatred. And again, on a personal level, and I think there are many people in our county that feel that way as Christians.
There's actually quite a bit about hatred. Yeah, whatever.
Depicted. And it's really tragic that that's happened. And we hope to do everything that we can to ensure that people understand it's about love. It's not about hatred.
You're lucky you're Kane, because that was a really terrible answer from a political standpoint. They're like, so Bible's about love, and there's no hate, and it's love.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking Kane, man. You know he's going to be elected. Like, when people heard that they could have Kane as the mayor of their county, I mean, come on, dude. They were instantly like, who the fuck else? We have this other fucking Sal, fucking ugly looking motherfucker. Let's have a big fucking brutish dude be our fucking mayor. That's what we need in our town.
I don't know, dude. There's something about this that bothers me a little bit.
What is it, Paul?
Like, I know this Grayson Fritts guy is a pretty fucking reprehensible piece of shit and has said some reprehensible shit. But, like, him being denied access to a restaurant, like, if he was in that restaurant being hateful, you know what I mean? If he was in there, like, kill the, gays or whatever the fuck, then that's one thing. But if he just came there to eat a 2-piece and a biscuit, like, is it really an open society, an egalitarian society?
I think they went there
a
to have
society that respects freedom of speech and expression if a dude can just, like, be kicked out of a restaurant that he went to eat at?
I view Cracker Barrel...
Like, I felt the same way when Sarah Sanders was kicked out of that place. Everybody celebrated that shit, and I kind of did too. It was funny. And it's not like she's going to be able to find some food. It's not like she's not going to be able to eat. But it's just like the implication of that bothers me because she said this.
Grayson Fritts ain't going to starve. And, I mean, like, I'm down for this argument up to a point. Like, when you're talking about a major platform like Twitter where, like, as you said in a previous segment, where the president is speaking and all that stuff,
right?
That's one thing. But this is Cracker Barrel. this is an independently owned business. Like, if we take this argument far enough in one direction, then anybody can say anything with no consequence socially. If we take it too far in the other direction, then it's totally restrictive.
I feel like the place I land at isn't too restrict. I feel like the place I land at is pretty fucking common sense.
I don't think he was going there to eat, though. It's not just like him coming to this business.
All I'm
eat.
saying is, it sounded like he was meeting there
It
with
says
his church.
Cracker Barrel said its corporate policy strictly prohibits any type of protest or public demonstration on their property and their stores. So I'm assuming if that's the basis given.
Well, he said he was bringing it was him and his flock coming there. So assuming that, maybe they assume there's going to be some kind of church business discussed, and if it is a hate church, then you can make the argument that there's a meeting of this hate church going on in the Cracker Barrel.
There's not a lot of detail about what his intentions were, but if he was just bringing a bunch of people
most
to
of
eat
these
some fucking food at a Cracker Barrel,
then I don't think he should be kicked out.
Right.
I
don't think he should be preempted from eating at a Cracker Barrel because he says off the wall shit.
I think he should be. I think
why?
I think Cracker Barrel has the right to kick him out. It's their business.
Under the current laws, they definitely do.
They have the right to refuse service to anyone.
You see that? That's true. If you were somewhere like California, you would have the right to refuse service to anybody.
Yeah, if you decide that they don't fucking match your political fucking stripe or whatever the fuck, and you don't want some anti-gay hate group meeting in the Cracker Barrel.
I just hate that kind of fucking divisiveness because there's so much of it in our society already. So much of and I'm not even talking about this incident in a vacuum because this is different. This guy says crazy shit, horrible shit.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm talking about just the overall nature of divisiveness that's pointed at us. We're supposed to segment ourselves off into this group. Right. We're this type of people. We talk this way. And other people look down. There's so much of that.
Yeah.
That, like, sitting down and eating a meal to me needs to be a fucking place where those people can come and sit.
So you just feel
and exchange ideas. And when it stops becoming that, then we just cede ourselves to this society where nothing's ever going to get solved because we all hate each other. Is that really what it is?
But so are you saying that you think that the Cracker Barrel should just be like a place of sitting down to eat should just be an apolitical place, or
in a way, yeah. That's my standing on it. If these people were coming there to do a protest at the Cracker Barrel, or try and do a sermon at the Cracker Barrel or some shit, then yes, kick them out. They got every right to deny that type of shit. If they were saying the discriminatory shit, they got a right to enforce that level of shit inside of their building. But if they were just sitting down, coming there, quietly meeting together, and ordering some chicken...
Well, it doesn't sound like that's the case, because according to this letter, it says, this is a letter being written to Cracker Barrel CEO Sandy Cochran. It says, I am writing to inform you that on June 29th, 2019, a Cracker Barrel restaurant located in Cleveland, Tennessee, is hosting an event called Small Town Soul Winning.
Well, then that changes the whole
for
thing.
The
he was trying to do a church
Baptist
thing.
Church. Grayson Fritts, a pastor of the church, is currently under investigation for inciting violence against...
Okay, wait a minute. That doesn't necessarily mean... Okay, so let's say he had a meeting called Small Town Soul Winning.
Right.
And part of that meeting was, at the end, we're all going to go to the Cracker Barrel and have a meal. Should he be denied? Should they deny... Number one, would you as a business person deny that business?
If I was the CEO of Cracker Barrel, would I deny him? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, if this dude was just going to show up with a busload of people and knowing that you could kick them out if they were being fucking unruly or saying shit, but if they were just going to sit down and pay you a bunch of money to eat your food.
Knowing the PR environment that we live in, fuck yeah, I would kick them out.
Yeah, I would have to say yes in this fucking climate. If you're going to do what's best for your business at that point, I don't think it's a wise thing.
If they just come eat there, I wouldn't personally give a shit, to be honest with you. But if I'm running a business and I'm looking at it from modern, contemporary American sort of sensibilities and point of view and the social media blowback that my company is going to receive, then fuck no, I don't want these people within a mile of my fucking business.
I know there's more nuance at play to this than I let on. I just am kind of overcome with grief at the amount of divisiveness in our society.
Let me ask you this. And I know there comes a point where we kind of touch on that Christians being forced to bake gay wedding cakes kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Because I know that there's fucking gay waiters and lesbian waitresses and so on and so forth that work at Cracker Barrels and shit.
Of course.
So I mean, if you're a gay person,
Ashley worked at a Cracker Barrel.
Right.
She's bisexual.
Right. If you're a gay person working at a Cracker Barrel, and I mean, should you have to wait on somebody who literally is out there advocating for you to be killed. Like,
I mean, that is an angle that I'm not considering.
I mean, like, not even that's not an exaggeration. Just and literally has gone out there and said, we need to start killing LGBT whatever
and
people.
I guarantee that scenario
should you, as a, is it a violation of your
happened.
rights as a worker at that point to have to wait on that?
So let me answer that question, and this may come
like should a Jew have to wait on Hitler if he wants to go eat at a restaurant? I mean,
all right, can we not
Muslim
invoke
sell
Godwin's
alcohol?
law
Yeah.
in this conversation?
No,
I'm
perfectly comfortable invoking Godwin's law. Why not?
Can we leave Hitler where Hitler belongs?
I think he belongs in this conversation
and just talk
because
about
he's
what we're
the most
talking
extreme
about?
example of this fucking kind of phenomenon.
It's kind of saying like your personal value. It's like a Muslim shouldn't sell
This
alcohol
dude has
if they don't
never
drink it.
burned anybody, right?
Fine. So let's say Hitler before he fucking was Chancellor of Germany.
Sure.
Then,
Well, I guess this
when
guy's
he was just talking.
In this, I hate this because it just poisons the well, in my opinion, for a real fucking conversation. But if you want to go there, let's go there. Yes, if you want to take the absurd thing that Hitler is an American in the modern times and he hasn't done the horrible thing yet and he's just said some wild shit about Jews and he walks into a Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, should a Jew have to serve him? My answer, and this may seem hard, yes.
All right.
Now, they don't have to serve him. They are perfectly well within their rights to renounce their contract of employment.
Right.
And go work somewhere
So just quit your job at that point.
else where Hitler doesn't frequent.
The Cracker Barrel.
If you want to take it there. But yes, if they've signed a contract of employment, that contract of employment doesn't say you get the right to bring your politics in here and decide, hey, this guy said something on Facebook I don't like. I don't want to serve him. And that's really what this filters down to.
Well, corporate America.
I feel like there has to be a.
Hey, we covered a fucking story last week
Yeah.
where someone basically, remember they had the story of the black guy where the woman called him the N-word, so we're not allowed to say that word now. Basically called him that on the phone, and the company and corporate backed him and said, nope, you can't stay at our hotel because you used something that we've and she didn't say it to him directly, but she overheard that, and of course for talking to somebody else.
I'm a pragmatist when it comes to this kind of shit. Employment, there is no emotional exchange between 99.9% of tables and servers.
Right.
Agreed.
It is a total business
I
transaction.
honestly try not to even fucking acknowledge.
And you know why?
Yeah.
It's the same way around. They acknowledge you in an offhanded way that seems polite and friendly. They try and
Right.
take care of you enough so they get a tip. But that's all
That's
a
it.
put on.
Right. Exactly.
Behind the scenes, they're themselves, and in front of you, they're
And
what
I'm
they need to be
myself,
to.
and we're
so that's their
whatever
job.
needs to be done in
That's
front
why
of
they're
us.
that
Of
way. Their job is to put on a smile, put on a name tag, and bring out the food people order.
Right.
Their job is not to bring their politics, their personal beliefs, their religious beliefs, or their LGBTQ nature into that fucking restaurant.
Right.
They are a person that takes an order.
Sure.
Right?
But I think
Now, I know they have
I
a-
feel like there has to be a delineation.
but the employees.
Between, like, if it's just like, hey, I'm gay and this person's anti-gay, I don't have a problem with saying you still have to wait on them. But when someone's saying, like, I literally advocate for your death to the point where I'm being investigated for incitement of violence against people who match your description.
Sure.
I mean,
It's an
like, I
extreme
feel like
example.
I feel like you're putting them in kind of danger at that point.
In danger?
Yeah, I mean, like,
If this dude
it's like,
hurt
would you
somebody,
expect a
we're
black
talking
dude
about
to
a
wait
different
on the
thing.
fucking Klan? I mean, you know, it's like, what do you do at some point? I mean,
I don't know.
I feel like
dude.
I feel like this goes to that level of extreme where we need to reassess the general fucking dynamic
Look,
there.
the employees-
'Cause fundamentally, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just think that this example is such a fucking extreme.
It just seems-
that it does beg for some reassessment.
What you guys are not even touching upon too is that the fact that these employees, yeah, like you're probably right to a degree, Paul. That hey, the employees they should do their job. That's what you're saying. Like, look, this is your job, do your job.
that's what they're there for.
But at the same time, employees still wield power in companies. If a lot of employees don't like waiting on those kinds of people, and don't like that policy, and the company had then established a policy based on the employee feedback or what the employees are willing to do and run an orderly business, you do have to consider the employee's emotional state and their feelings. I mean, I know what you're saying.
I
but-
do.
But you can't divorce that from from what you're saying. It's a really delicate balancing act, and I think that a lot of businesses have erred on the side of banning these people because they want to keep their employees
Okay.
happy and their other customers happy. They're going to piss some people off, but the vast majority of people are not going to be upset about this.
The angle I have here is the need for us to establish common ground for people, no matter what they say and do. And I think I wouldn't be alone in saying that traditionally the meal has been that.
I agree.
In fact, eateries hold a special place just in human, culture and consciousness because it's life-giving. And there's something special about sitting across from somebody. It's disarming. And really, if that can be kept an apolitical place where people can just sit down and eat some fucking chicken, no matter what they've said and done outside. Now, if they've broken the fucking law, if this guy goes to jail for inciting actual violence or perpetrates violence against somebody,
that's different, of course.
That's different in my mind. It's not different in other people's minds because in other people's minds, his speech precludes his ability to bring a group of people to this restaurant and spend money.
If I was if you're a convicted murderer and you go to a Cracker Barrel, you're not going to be turned away. I mean, like if you're
maybe you would be.
I mean,
what if somebody recognizes you and goes, "I don't want to serve no rapist and killer of women"?
True, could be, but probably not. Less likely to get turned away than this guy.
What if you're in the same? What do you mean, probably not?
Because they're probably not going to know.
When we started talking about safe spaces years ago, when that started becoming a thing, it became clear that there's a segment of the population that just wants to have everything segregated. Like they only want it with people who have the same ideas, them, the same political views.
Let me ask you a question, TJ.
It's voluntary segregation.
Sure.
And now it's basically being enforced.
Okay, but we got to move on. So go ahead and ask me the question. I'll answer
All right,
it.
never mind then. If you got to move on, let's move on.
We have a little bit of time. Ask me the question, and then I'll answer it, and then I'll let you have.
Well, it's a minor point, but you said, how are they going to know?
Right.
When you go to do a transaction at a restaurant, you give them your card, right?
Right. So we're talking about the
They
murder
take your
scenario.
card in the back.
Yeah.
How long would it take for them to put your name in and search and see if you got a record?
Oh, I mean, they could.
15 seconds?
Not long.
So what you're doing, your angle on this of less tolerance is kicking the door open to shit like that. People that have done crimes, served the time, somebody takes their credit card to the back and runs their name and goes, "This guy raped somebody in 1980. I don't serve rapists here. You're never allowed here ever again.
Yeah.
Get out." And people would support it.
Probably. Yeah. Almost certainly. People be like, "Yeah, do good."
That's why I take the other kind of more extreme stance of, can we please just have a common place? Now, if this dude, like I said, this dude's preaching, this dude is being unruly, this dude is being negative or hateful towards an employee, kick his fucking country ass out and let him go pick a turnip and boil it and eat it for all I fucking care. Okay? I'm not saying you got to tolerate assholery.
Right.
But if he just wanted to transact, "Hey, I want a meal," come on, man.
Yeah.
Where does that end?
Yeah, I think that when it comes to an extreme case like this, you probably almost have to do it on a case by case basis. But I do agree that it could lead to the scenario you kind of just fleshed out, where everyone's being looked at in terms of like social capital, like, "Oh, you did this once, so you're not allowed to eat here." Fuck off.
You know,
because I mean,
for an absolute fact, TJ, you eat at restaurants a lot.
Yes,
you've been looked up more than once by a server, guaranteed. Mm-hmm. Somebody's like, "Oh, I think I know this guy. I'm gonna search his name, Thomas Kerr. Oh, the amazing atheist. Yeah. You know it's happened at least a dozen times in your fucking career.
So what if somebody's like, I don't like atheism, or I don't like the fact this dude stuck a banana up his ass, or whatever the fuck.
What if somebody fucking runs across the banana video, or one of your more, fiery old atheist videos, or a current political video?
And they're like, "I don't agree," or "I don't like
this." And goes
like,
"This motherfucker right here doesn't like Trump. Hey, asshole that don't like Trump, get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out my
restaurant." Is that
restaurant.
what you want?
No, obviously not.